Look left side.
It's going to go nice and slow here.
Спасибо большое.
Wait, this position. Wait a second. Great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Не растекаясь мыслью по древу, мы поблагодарим Райана за то, что он приехал к нам в такие тяжелые времена. Я имею в виду мороз и снежные заносы. Хотя он канадец, он с этим совсем превосходно знаком. И предлагаю начинать задавать вопросы.
День «Посмотрим». Фильм основан на комиксах, а комиксы любят в основном мальчики. Чем будет фильм интересен для девушек, тем более, что он выходит накануне Дня Святого Валентина?
I think it's completely untrue that comic book movies are for boys. I know just as many girls that love them. I know just as many girls that love them with or without a romantic angle. So I think we're selling our sisters short by saying, you know, that they need a sort of a Valentine's Day angle to see the movie. But you know, I think everybody's going to find something in the film. I mean, the movie sort of covered all the bases in terms of you know, action, comedy, romance. It's the only thing that I think distinguishes it, you know, from a proper sort of studio 4-quadrant kind of film is the fact that, you know, it's a little bit racier. It's designed not exactly for little kids.
Существует стереотип о комиксах, люди считают, что они предназначены для детей, они несерьезные, не могут рассказывать о чем-то серьезном. Действительно ли так? Вы согласны с этой позицией? А если нет, то объясните почему. Спасибо.
I don't agree with that statement at all. I mean, if anything, I think comic book movies could serve to sort of laugh at themselves just a little bit more. I mean, so many of the characters that you see in the comic book films these days, they all talk like this. That's very serious. So, I think it's nice to see them sort of lighten up occasionally. You know, Marvel tends to do that sometimes, and certainly DC has its moments of light as well. But no, I don't think they're aimed at kids at all. I think kids love them, but that's what makes comic book movies so ubiquitous and popular all over the world is that kids and adults enjoy them together. So you know, when you go to superhero movies in the theater, typically you have a nice mix of both. So.
Привет, Райан. Скажи, пожалуйста, почему тебе удалось сыграть классного супергероя только с 4-го раза? И можно ли сделать селфи с тобой, когда все закончится?
А вам не понравился опыт Райана в «Зеленом фонаре»?
Wow. 4 times the charm. Yeah, you know, superhero movies are like, they're a genre unto themselves. They're not just, you know, superhero movies. They're sort of, I liken them to, you know, doing a comedy or a drama, or, you know, there's a sort of a vast spectrum of movies that can fall within that category. But no, I've had wildly differing degrees of success in comic book movies, and you know, I'm really lucky that I got to play this one. But this one's been an 11-year journey for me. I've been trying to get this made for 11 years with the studio, and heard the word no so many times I forgot what it meant. So, you know, getting that green light and being allowed to make this movie a year ago was, for me, it was like a dream come true. What's that? The selfie? Maybe we can do it after the press conference. But sure, I'm happy to do it.
Райан, здравствуйте. Меня зовут Ольга, журнал «Стархи».
Райан, у меня такой вопрос. В фильме ваш герой очень много и так достаточно скабрезно шутит. А в жизни вы вообще любите юмор? Часто ли шутите? Можете как-то постебаться над своими друзьями, например?
Well, Deadpool, the reason I've been attached to it for 11 years is that he's sort of like an alter ego for me. Sometimes I have trouble turning it off. So I like humor, I like dark humor, I like light humor, so I like it all. You know, I think, yeah, my wife sometimes says that to me. She says, who am I talking to right now, Deadpool or my husband? So it's a character that's very close to my heart, maybe a little too close. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, because I want to present you something, because your hero in the film constantly wears a mask of
Yeah.
hero. I think that you likes to wear a mask, and I want to present you a mask of stolen.
That's nice. That's a horse's head. This is in America, the mafia does this. It means you're about to die. It's a bad omen in America. They leave it in your bed. Thank you for this. Thank you very much. I did not expect it.
Maybe you can
I
try.
don't think anybody expected it.
Maybe you can try.
Maybe I wish the conference will try it out.
Давайте правой стороне дадим, пожалуйста, слово.
Можно? Так, good morning, Ryan.
Hey.
Очень приятно видеть вас в Москве. И как ваша жена отнеслась к фильму? И вы в жизни такой же бadass, как она думает?
Wow. In real life, absolutely not. But she loved it. She just saw it actually last week for the first time. We did a fan screening of the film, and that was pretty amazing for her. I mean, she's been on this road with me for a long time, and I know she's very proud to see that this movie was not only made the way I hoped it would be made, but the way all comic book fans and fans of Deadpool hoped it would be made. But we made the first time sort of the wrong way in Wolverine Origins years ago, and you know, while that was no fault of the filmmaker, that was more of a studio decision. Still, it feels very this retribution in getting to make it the right way now. So she was thrilled. She was just bent over laughing the whole movie. She loved it.
А Дэдпул получился очень жестким фильмом. Как ты думаешь, повлияет ли он на остальную индустрию фильмов по комиксам, будут ли они более жесткие? И вторая часть моего вопроса. А если бы не было вот этой вот разницы в правах, с кем из всей огромной семьи Марвел ты бы хотел сделать тимап? Не секрет, что многие ждут тебя с Человеком-пауком.
Wow, Spider-Man. I would love to make a team up with Spider-Man. I'd like to high-five him right in the face. But that's more complicated than it sounds, because it's, you know, these are different studios and all the rights and all that sort of thing, so I let them figure it out. But there are plans for some Deadpool team-up stuff I can't really comment on right now, but I do know that you know, Hollywood is very famous for, they'll just copy whatever works. So by introducing a solo X-Men universe character like Deadpool and it being rated R in the United States and 18+ here, you know, when that works, then suddenly you're going to see a lot more of it. You know, if that works, that's just how it goes down in Hollywood. So, you know, you might see more comic book movies trying that out. I don't think you're going to see the Avengers being hard rated R, but that would be sort of suicidal for Marvel. But I think you can probably see some other kind of lighter ancillary characters try that out. It'd be nice to see a Wolverine movie rated R. It'd be nice to see an X-Force movie as well.
Ну, давайте правая сторона.
Райан, здравствуйте. Я тут. Это метро, Любовь Егорова. Если бы зеленый фонарь подрался бы с Дэдпулом, кто из них победил?
Wow, that's a good question. I think, you know, that's a really tough one, actually. I like to think Deadpool would win. I think Deadpool would probably infuriate Green Lantern to the point where Green Lantern would probably take his own life with his magic ring. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Еще один вопрос.
Москву. Как тебе, Райан, Москва? Что тебя удивило в Москве? И как Дэдпул, Москва, и что его удивило в Москве и посвящении?
I'm surprised that people know Deadpool this well here. You know, he's big. They love him. You know, whenever you go to a new country for the first time, you just assume nobody knows who the hell you are or anything like that. So it's been nice having such a warm welcome here. And one of the great pleasures of my job is that I get to go to countries and places and see them in ways that I never would before. So to come to Moscow has been really special for me. I love it. And my brother is here as well, and we wandered all around the city yesterday, and it was just my only sadness is that we couldn't get to St. Petersburg. I'd love to see St. Petersburg. I love the Russian people. They're among the toughest people I think on the planet, and so I admire them greatly for that.
Hello. Вероника Спихина, Россия 1. Дэдпул шутит по поводу актера Райана Рейнольдса. Кто придумал эту шутку? И вы правда считаете, что Райан Рейнольдс это актер, которого берут в первую очередь за лицо?
That was my joke. Most of the jokes that involve me or Green Lantern are me that I come up. But no, I just think, in that moment, I think I made fun of another celebrity, and I thought, I can't do that without also making fun of myself. So you balance it out a little bit like that. But the writing experience in the movie has been a lot of fun. I think people are really going to love the extras, the home entertainment extras after the movie's come and gone. For every joke, we wrote 10 more. And then there are some jokes that will have us all arrested, which I don't know will ever see the light of day. Some jokes that I do believe the U.S. government would have me killed if I said out loud. So I hope some of them get to see some action at some point. But it was the movie just gave us so many possibilities. We could say or do anything. I mean, that's the real superpower of Deadpool, is that he gets to say or do anything he wants. In a Marvel kind of X-Men universe, which was really special. We loved it.
Дэдпул вы играли вместе с Женой Барановой, и я думаю, что многие из находящихся здесь знают о ее бойцовском прошлом. Больно ли вам было от ее ударов? И второй вопрос, насколько сложнее играть комедийную роль или все-таки драматическую? Спасибо.
Gina Carano is a very talented fighter, and she plays Angel Dust in the film, and that was exciting for me. I'm very physical. I love getting down and dirty. I love doing as many stunts myself as I could. So there's a scene where I'm hanging up, my hands are tied, I'm hanging, and she's punching me in the ribs, and I remember, and I say this to a lot of actors, make a little contact, just a little bit, nothing crazy or anything like that. And she just didn't want to do that. She didn't feel comfortable. I finally had to beg her. I said, just a little bit. It's okay. Don't worry. It makes it look real to me. I felt I could almost see my dead grandfather after she did it. I mean, that was. I don't know why she doesn't continue fighting, because she's very good at it. She can punch very, very hard, and that was an experience I wasn't happy to do again. But what's funny about these kinds of fighters is they're the nicest people. They're so much nicer than a pacifist. So she's just, when you meet her, she's just all puppy dogs and ice cream. You think she's going to be this tough girl, but no, she was absolutely amazing. And you had a second part of your question, which was what was that? The second part.
Какая роль легче у драматической и комедийной?
Oh, both are very. Comedy is much more technical than drama. Drama is just anything goes. But both have to be steeped in honesty in order to resonate with an audience. So they're both difficult, but I enjoy them both. I've been lucky to kind of be able to do both.
Правая сторона.
Райан, доброе утро. В Москве, меня зовут Виктор, журнал Reynolds. Ты сказал, что тебе очень нравится Россия, и ты под большим впечатлением от русских людей. Вот немножко фантазии, импровизации. Скажи, пожалуйста, а что бы ты делал, если бы Дэдпул был русский? Был бы он, не знаю, например, жителем Петербурга или сотрудником Эрмитажа, или Old Russian Tradition, водка, балалайка, баня и прочее. Как ты это видишь, интересно?
Well, I think Deadpool will make a very good Russian, to be honest. I know Colossus is a good Russian in our movie, but no, I think Deadpool is probably I have a feeling though after a few years you guys might ask him to leave. I think he'd get into a lot of trouble here. Russia's I've in the very small amount of time I've been here, I've seen you could get into a lot of trouble here. It's one of those cities that has some of the most beautiful architecture in the world, and there's so much to do. But what a nightlife, you know! I think Deadpool will probably take over the nightlife here. It gets ugly very quick. I think we're going to try to do that. I'm not in charge of the schedule, so I'm happy to do a selfie if we have some time. I'm happy to do 1,000 selfies if we have time. Yeah.
Мы можем закончить на 5 минуточек раньше пресс-конференцию.
Oh, my brother's in the front row. There he is. This is my brother. There he is. Yeah, there you go. He's a police officer. When I was younger, he handcuffed me to the fridge.
Так что ведите себя хорошо.
Yeah. Hello.
Райан, я хотела спросить, не было ли на площадке конфликта между Райаном Рейнольдсом продюсером и Райаном Рейнольдсом артистом? Например, у Рейнольдса актера поднимается раздутый райдер, а у продюсера ограниченный бюджет. Или Рейнольдс сам будет делать все другие, а у продюсера важно, что будут как решались такие конфликты?
Yeah. There is a little issue there, yeah. The producer thinks Ryan Reynolds is an absolute asshole. Prima donna, his trailer's too big. No, they got along all right. They had the same goals, I think, so, you know. But I know how that is. Sometimes you have to kind of reconcile the two. A lot of producers and actors don't like each other, but yeah, the producer won on this one. I bossed myself around very well.
И они между собой не ругались.
Oh, there was some. Well, the great thing about being a producer is that you're, you know, when you work a 25-hour day, you're allowed to, the next day you're allowed to say, I think I'm going to come in an hour later. That was nice.
Yeah. Добрый день, для чего .ru. Дорогой, скажите, пожалуйста, это вопрос к продюсеру. Считается, что продюсер плохая профессия и плохо относится к профессии. Не виделось ли у вас отношение к профессии продюсера? Еще, как известно, в Америке вы будете подать компанию, у нас в России 18 плюс идет, я его вообще запретили. Были ли у вас какие потребности и возможности немножко смягчить юмор и некоторые сцены взрослых Дэдпула для того, чтобы снизить эти.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. Yes, first of all, producers, by and large, in my experience, do absolutely nothing except occupy more oxygen on the set and eat more food. But some of them, you know, can be very instrumental, and you know, I think if they're really into the material, if they really love it, they can guard it and safeguard it. That was my job. So, but yes, there was tremendous pressure to make the movie PG-13, to make the movie for kids. You know, the studio said you can have so much more money if you make this for kids. And there's been a lot of in the news media, there's been a lot about parents writing petitions wanting us to do a PG-13 version of the film. But we just wouldn't be doing the character justice, and we accepted a much smaller amount of money to make the movie so we could do it the right way. So we didn't want to sacrifice that. And if that means losing some of the revenue or some of the audience, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. We wanted to make the Deadpool the right way. And that's all that mattered to us.
Надежда Маркалова, Спасибо.ру. Расскажите, пожалуйста, немножко о процессе съемок, может быть, что было самым сложным во время исполнения трюков или что-нибудь со съемочной площадки. Спасибо.
I think the most difficult day was the days where we shot in the warehouse that was on fire. It was a large fight scene between Deadpool and Ajax, and I'm not wearing any clothes, and that's just already a nerve-wracking experience. We sort of drew a little bit from Eastern Promises, the Cronenberg movie there. There was a fight scene between Viggo Mortensen and several other guys where he's naked, and we sort of felt like there's nothing on the planet more vulnerable than a naked man fighting, and also scary. Like if I had a home intruder or something in the middle of the night, I think running at him naked would be much more frightening than if I were wearing a nightgown. So, you know, it's that was, I would say, the hardest scene to shoot though, because it was hot. Everything was on fire. I was covered in makeup, head to toe, scar makeup for Deadpool. And the day, like I said, was, I think, it was a 25-hour shooting day for me. The crew worked 15, but they're long, and those are tough scenes. The stunt stuff is usually the toughest. And then the other part is the, you know, the screenwriting process of this movie extends well into the editing, and that was the other thing that was, I think, most challenging for us. Was really, we're dealing with a fractured narrative in Deadpool, where we're going back in time and forwards in time and different things like that. So the editing process was a group effort that we were living in this room for 4 to 8 months.
Райан, привет, меня зовут Стас Оксани и Дэдпул.
Hello.
Такой вопрос по поводу костюма. Вот во время съемок он плотно, в принципе, прилегал к себе. Каково было бегать, прыгать постоянно? То есть потел ли у тебя, не знаю, там, соски не растирал или еще что-то такого плане? Каково было?
You can imagine if I get comfortable running around in a red body condom? Yeah, it's probably you can imagine. No, the suit was engineering. I mean, it's engineering to make a suit like that. And the first time I saw it, I cried. And I'm not even making that up. I genuinely cried because the journey had been so long, and I'd always dreamed that if we got to make Deadpool, the suit would be the most faithful adaptation from comic book to film ever made. And Russ Schenkel, the guy who created the suit, he did that, and that made me cry. And then I hated Russ for the rest of the shoot every time I wore it because it was the tightest suit you can imagine. My eyes would bulge putting it on every morning. The hardest part was when we went through 9 of the suits shooting the movie. I would destroy them. There's so many stunts, the suits would get destroyed. The hardest part was when you put on a new suit. So it takes about 3 days for it to warm up enough that you can really move normally. So for the first couple of days, you feel like you're you know, wearing a suit made of wood and steel. But my nipples were fine.
Да, пожалуйста, слева. Тут, да, есть микрофон у вас? Да, пожалуйста. Нет, тогда право. Пожалуйста.
Jeez, I thought you were asking my brother for a question for now.
Конечно, спросим следующий вопрос.
Добрый день, Субрагажина, Reynolds.ru. У меня такой вопрос, я вот здесь. У меня такой вопрос. Значит, многие папы-актеры жалуются на то, что вот из-за занятости вот, на съемках фильма они мало времени проводят со своими детьми. Как у вас вот, сложилось с дочкой вот, значит, время вот, во время вот, съемок и время рождения вот, со своим ребенком? Насколько вам удается вот, это все совместить? Спасибо.
I have a daughter? Joke. No, it was great. It was fun. My whole family comes with me. My wife and I, we don't work at the same time. And my daughter doesn't work because she's 1. So, no, we were just on set a couple of times together. We try to do that. We try to just move as a family. And it's, you know, it's one of the sacrifices of the job, which I'm happy to take. It means that, you know, neither of us work maybe on everything we want to work on, but that's fine. Those are what we call good problems to have, you know. So, yeah, I got to see her all the time. I mean, she would find it a little disturbing seeing me in the scar makeup. She cried the first couple of times because my voice sounds the same, but I look like, you know, a testicle at a fight with a punching bag. So.
Продолжая тему семьи, Райан сказал, что брат его офицер полиции, а Райан консультировался со своим братом офицером полиции, как его
Yes, I did. On the movie Safe House, he helped me a lot. I was playing a CIA officer, obviously, which is a slightly different function than what my brother does, but he helped me a lot. He gives me a lot of crap about gun stuff. He's like, you're holding your gun wrong. Hold your gun right. Those are the things that really bother me. But otherwise, no, it's very helpful.
Здравствуйте, Райан. Светлана Соколенко, журнал «Около». Скажите, пожалуйста, большая часть песен в фильме, они очень современные, а тема любви стала именно Wham! Careless Whisper. Почему?
Oh, that was old. I mean, the songs aren't really up to date. They're old. I mean, you know, Shoop is 20 years old, I think, or 15 years old. You know, the music was very, very important to us. It was meant to be very eclectic and very imbalanced in a strange way. So the Juice Newton song was the first thing we ever said. Myself and Paul, the writer, we sat around and said, you know, what's the song that we opened the movie on? And I always wanted to do something with Juice Newton because I love that song. And it's, so that was a holdover from 6 years ago. And then the rest, where the Salt and Pepper song is, Shoot, we really wanted Gwen Stefani's Hollaback Girl, but that was just way too expensive. And then we found Shoot, and it actually worked even better. So, and it was affordable for us. So, you know, things sort of, this movie was very lucky. It had like kind of destiny, everything sort of worked out.
У нас два вопроса остались, ребята.
Before, я просто выбрал сцену еще раз. My colleagues are going to kill me, but I'm going to ask. Когда ты впервые познакомился с Дэдпулом, и что происходит между тобой и Джекманом?
Well, Hugh Jackman is one of my closest friends. So we take the piss out of each other quite a bit. But, you know, I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for Stanley. And then I also wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for Hugh Jackman. You know, Hugh Jackman is kind of the granddaddy of the whole X-Men universe. I mean, he's a character that he's the most beloved actor and character in the X-Men universe. And what he's done is essentially been a pioneer. I mean, he really ushered in a new kind of wave of superhero films. So, you know, first, I'm truly actually immensely grateful for everything Hugh Jackman has done for not just me, but for the Marvel comic universe and particularly X-Men.
And when was the first time you met Deadpool?
The first time I met Deadpool? Well, it was 11 years ago. I was getting the comics. A guy told me, he said, you know, you are Deadpool. And I said, who's Deadpool? And he slapped a bunch of comics in my hand, and I read them, and I couldn't stop, you know, and then, he was a studio executive. He wanted to make Deadpool the movie, and then he was fired, like the studio executives are. And that's when the movie just sort of sat on the shelf for so long. So I was desperate to find another studio executive that saw what I saw.
У вас вопрос?
Да.
Да, давай.
Можно микрофон? Ну, меня и так слышно, я думаю. Здравствуйте, Райан. Денис Оптимистр, меня зовут, я с Ютуба.
Скажите, пожалуйста, есть такой комикс «Дэдпул убивает классическую литературу». Да, если бы его экранизировали следом, вы бы прошлись по русской классике, может быть, бросили Анну Каренину под поезд, или участвовали в «Войне и мире», вписались в наш фольклор, там, с богатырями в Иисусе.
You want to see a fight between Deadpool and Dostoevsky?
Почему бы нет?
Let's do it.
И еще.
Or A-Ride comes out, we'll shoot it today.
И еще.
Shoot it at the Kremlin. Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, they've done, in the comics, they've done Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, so, you know, why not do the literary universe? I mean, certainly, Russia's no stranger to great literature, so I'm imagining we could just do installments for a decade only in Russia before we move on to London, England, you know.
Еще вопрос. Любимое блюдо Дэдпула — чимичанга. Если бы он жил в России, полюбил бы он пельмени, холодец, что? Шаверму, может.
Что понравилось Райану?
Да, что вам понравилось, Райан, из еды, из местных?
He would eat all of the Earl dumplings, right? I don't know. He's I imagine he would, you know, chimichanga is a funny one because Deadpool doesn't actually like chimichangas. He likes saying the word chimichanga. So we'd have to find if you could suggest a Russian meal that just sounds kind of funny. I'm sure that's the one Deadpool would go for. Borscht is too easy. Gotta go something better than that. What is it? Somebody yelled it out. Хачапури. Time to make the хачапури.
Последний вопрос. Конкурс на самый хулиганский вопрос, пожалуйста. Да, пожалуйста.
Райан, привет. Хочу тебя спросить о твоих фанатах. Но для начала должен тебе передать песню «Hello» Самары и девушкам наших. Она меня попросила. Вот. В одном интервью ты сказал, что Дэдпул самый близкий тебе персонаж. Скажи, а ты к другим фанатам его не ревнуешь?
Что вы имеете в виду?
Ну, не испытывает ли Райан ревность к своему персонажу, когда кто-то другой им поставит?
Когда фанаты Дэдпула, их больше, чем фанатов
Райана. Например, и так далее.
Oh, I see, yeah. Well, I'm married, Deadpool isn't. So if they love love Deadpool. Yeah. I love that. I love when people are excited about Deadpool. I love it when people are excited as friends, sexually, just buddies, whatever. They can have Deadpool. He's pretty great.
Спасибо большое. Давайте поблагодарим Райана. Спасибо, что приехали. Спасибо.